At what point did that happen for you?
I think it was like my first music video. I monetized it immediately.
Oh, sharp guy.
Oh, I forgot to mention, this skit has really taken over everything.
I was going to come to you there if you're leaving the skit makers out. Yo, what's up guys? Your main man here, JayDany. Welcome to the Creative Joint. So in today's episode, I have an incredible and super talented creative enthusiast. He is a super talented filmmaker right here in Lagos City. He goes by the name Adeyinka Ibidapo. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. J. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, man. I told you that we're going to bring you to the show and you thought I was joking. So all the time, don't be the one directing and say, give me this shot, take one camera, light and action. We're actually going to put you in the spotlight and we're glad you came. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about loads of things that you've been doing in the industry, of course, as a creative. This is a creative show. We're going to be talking creativity generally.
Yeah.
So in the list of, project that you've been involved either as a director, as a DOP, and all of that, which would you say is like the most outstanding right now for you? Of course, do you have like a favorite right now?
Well, I think my favorite, I think it will be my most recent.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a project that, we did in Nairobi. Yeah, and it was a stretch of like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was basically on documentary, and then it was centered around blockchain actually. Yeah, and it was just recently published. I think about a week ago. Yeah, I would say that's like my favorite for now. Even though it was very like the set was not so very complex.
Yeah.
It was just most of the shots were outdoor.
Okay.
Yeah, majorly. So it was more or less, we were just filming an event that took place for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's like a small group, maximum I think about 30 people.
Okay.
So they came together. It's like I would say it's more or less like, I'm not trying to be spiritual, but it's like a fellowship.
Okay.
Basically.
But it's fine to be spiritual. You have the liberty to.
Yeah, so it was more or less like a fellowship kind of thing, and it was very core on blockchain and crypto.
Okay.
And it had all of those kind of topics and discussions, and it went for 3 full weeks.
Wow.
So I was filming every single day, from morning to night, and I had a couple of interviews to check in with. And yeah, it was great.
I guess it's not released yet, is it?
No, yeah, it is. It was published on Twitter actually.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
it's been released.
Yes,
okay,
yes,
and what's the name? In case, of course, I definitely I would. I want to go check it out.
Yeah. Okay,
most of your fans as well watching.
Yeah. You could check it out. You could check up Borderless Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, Borderless Africa was like the they were the brand behind the whole thing. Yeah, so if you check out Borderless Africa, you'll see the project in there. Yeah,
amazing.
Fantastic actually. I love it.
I know.
Yeah.
From the smile I'm getting, in your face right now, I can tell. Of course, you must be superb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Then
Yeah.
let's talk details about who Adeyinka is. Of course, usually we would want to start from the point of asking how you got into the industry, but of course we will keep that for later. We're coming. Let's talk about challenges, because we know as it is in life generally, there's nothing that you do that that you're not faced with challenge.
True.
What has been the most challenging part of being a filmmaker for you? I know there are like loads of them, right?
Yeah.
But at least the most pressing, ones.
I think maybe I would say when you have something up there and you're trying to really bring it out.
Okay.
And you cannot definitely like bring it out how exactly it is in your mind.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have like an idea of a scene, or you want to actually bring out something, and if you try and it's not working, you just have to settle for less. basically. Yeah. Sometimes budget, sometimes space, sometimes equipment, sometimes people.
Exactly, which is where I wanted to ask. Is it like related to budget or equipment and the rest?
Yeah. Sometimes, most of the time actually, it's usually budget. Because you want to like build up a set, or you want to destroy something, you want to,
True.
But I would say, I think other than that, I'll be realistic. Other than that, storage is actually a very, very interesting challenge.
Of course, out there, definitely any filmmaker there that knows that, of course, you be editing, and you definitely will know that that's going to be like one of your major, challenge that you're going to have to deal with as soon as possible. And you keep dealing with. You never get to an end, because so long as you get projects coming in, definitely you need storage. Of course.
And I think I would want to even advise anybody who's watching. If you are doing any projects, please don't use hard drives. Settle for SSDs.
Exactly.
Try as much as possible to just settle for SSD. Don't avoid HD by all means. I beg you, because one fall from that HD,
it's gone.
It's gone.
All right.
It's gone.
Like we say in Nigeria, it's gone. Otilo. Look, we as a studio, we've actually had our fair share of experience in terms of what you just mentioned. In our early days, we used to like even the SD that you're talking about, they fail, right? And so basically that's where the challenge comes, where you have to have like multiple backups, right? So and that comes with a lot of funds and the rest, that's attached to it. So it's actually a good advice. Let's talk about your creative expression, because I know as creatives, especially in the area and the field which you find yourself as a filmmaker, there's when you have like a creative expression in your head. For instance, the client calls you for a project, and you have this creative vision in your head of what it should look like. But the client also will definitely have theirs, all right? Maybe what they think will meet the commercial market that they are trying to, put out the content to. How do you marry the two? Because most times, personally, I've seen lots of conflict where we're like trying to sell our expressive, our creative expression to the artist, but they want it this way. How do you balance that particular challenge?
Well, I mean, it goes down to, having multiple conversations, I would say. Yes. And I think sometimes you would have to educate the client. Yes, because, what the client may want sometimes may not be good for markets, right? It may not be market fit. So you would, what I personally do is I try to bring up references, right? I tell you, okay, this is what has been done before. Not even from me. I can pick up references from any work out there. So I show this person, I say, okay, this is what maybe Arsenal has done for this kind of documentary. This is what maybe Nike has done for this kind of documentary. So it goes down to really having multiple conversations. And as a creative, there's always that vibe of this person has to do what I really want to. You really want to express yourself on the project. But at the same time, the client is also already having an idea of what it should look like. So I think it's, just down to, how smart you can actually just find a way to convince the person. But more or less, try to, bring up references in the conversations and say, okay, this is what has been done before and this is what has been done before, right? If we merge XYZ together, we'll definitely be able to do it better than the way you actually wanted it to be done. Exactly. So I think, having multiple conversations and basically just, bringing up references would actually, sort that out. Although every client is different.
It's different, some, of course. Look, that really takes some level of experience as well, where you have to like get into a space of course, once you know that you are not just first of all, a creative person, but you're also a business person. As it is in any business relationship, there's always lots of communication, right?
True.
To like convince each party of what it should be. Amazing. So let's get back to the first question I was supposed to, of course, ask, but we just decided to switch things around. Talk to us about how did Adeyinka get into becoming a filmmaker? Because of course we know you were not born with this. Even if you think you were born with creative talent, right? How did it happen for you, brother?
Okay. I would say my journey initially started out as a designer, right?
Okay.
I was actually into graphics. That was how I actually just started. And I was in school. I think far back as like 2014, I was in my second year thereabout, and that was like when I started out graphics. And so that was like the beginning of my creative journey. And
wow.
I was just fascinated by anything that is good out there. I was fascinated a lot by billboards, especially creative billboards. It's now that in Nigeria we're seeing creative billboards. I mean, back then, I was always, looking out stuff on Pinterest by then. Even till now, I still design.
Of course.
Actually, because I mean...
And it definitely is boosting you. I see most of your project. I'm like, okay, how is this guy getting this? So definitely, there's that design knowledge that's impacting that as well.
Yeah. And I think, fast forward from the design, I got into photography. Yes. I mean, a lot of ladies actually... they were my clients, ladies.
Wow.
Makeup, especially makeup artists. And then when I was in school, and then I think having to come into film, I think it was shortly in 2021 into 2022, where my first hands-on video was actually a music video.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a live music video, and followed by a very, very interesting documentary film. Well, I wouldn't call it a documentary film, but I would say it's more like, it's like a storyline that is having impact on the northern part of Nigeria. Yeah, then I was in Abuja.
Yeah, and, I saw that. I actually watched that on YouTube.
Yeah, so that was like my first hand on film as a filmmaker.
Okay, so you got trainings, of course, from people you were working with and the rest.
Basically.
Okay, basically, of course. Like, and then you started trying and error. Of course, which is normal.
Yeah.
At what point would you say is where you got like a big break? You would say, this thing be like I go feed really the monetizer like, to make some bar from it. At what point did that happen for you?
I think it was like my first music video. I monetized it immediately.
Oh, sharp guy.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was my first music video, basically, I wanted to do. And, what happened really was like, this person has been shooting videos, right? And I came on board and I was like, okay, there's a better way to shoot it. And I was not yet doing videos by then.
Okay.
And the person was like, okay, why not you do it now, since you are the one trying to like criticize my previous work? It was actually my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I was like, okay, fine. And I just got on it. And I gave him the budget. Okay, this is what I'm going to need for this. This is what I'm going to need for this. This is what I'm going to need for this. And that really changed the course of my journey, because I used to think video was difficult.
Yeah.
I used to think
the same pictures. It's just one is different, one is still.
One is motion.
Yeah,
exactly.
All pictures. Yeah. All right, Adeyinka. So we're going to go into a quick game segment.
Okay.
It's called the quick fire game segment.
All right.
But before we do so, guys, I am still here with Adeyinka. He's an incredible filmmaker, super talented one at that. So we've been dropping lots of creative ideas on the set about him, what he's been doing in the industry, of course. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. Leave us a subscription, a like, and come on, guys, I can't say this enough. If this kind of content appeals to you, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Show us love, show us the support. All right. Adeyinka, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So it's called the quick fire game segment.
All right.
It means in 60 seconds, let's see, you're going to attempt to answer as many questions as possible.
Okay.
So we have 14 questions. Just attempt to answer, as many as you can. So this is the simple rule now. If there's any question that you're not very comfortable with, or you can't find an immediate answer to, you can say pass. All right. Okay. That's the only time that we can move to the next set of questions. All right.
Cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Timekeepers, you ready? Yeah. Okay, let's go. The time starts now. Tell us about the film or director that has influenced your style the most.
Christopher Nolan.
Okay. In 2 words, what are the biggest challenges you face in your career?
Storage and budget.
Okay. In 3 words, describe your content creative style.
Okay. Music. Pass.
Okay. What's your favorite part of the filmmaking process?
Editing.
Okay, nice. If you could spend a day with any legendary filmmaker, living or dead, who would it be?
Christopher Nolan.
Describe your creative process in 3 words.
Okay. Sketch, research, and shoot.
Okay, how do you stay inspired and avoid creative burnout?
Games, FIFA.
Okay, how do you unwind after wrapping up a major project?
I think it's the FIFA.
Okay, if you weren't the filmmaker, what else would you be doing?
I'll be doing architecture.
Okay, what do you think is the biggest misconception about filmmakers in Nigeria?
That filming is cheap.
Okay. In your opinion, what makes a film truly unforgettable?
Story. Yeah.
In your estimation, who's currently the biggest Afrobeat musician in Nigeria?
Davido.
If your life were a movie, what would be the title?
Paradise.
What's the most unconventional place you found inspiration for a project?
Pinterest, I guess. No.
Pinterest?
No. Unconventional place I found inspiration.
Yeah, for a project.
Billboard.
TikTok. Okay. Yeah, that's unconventional enough. All right. I think you've been able to wipe the question, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's at the nick of time. Amazing. You'll be able to see how many questions you got correctly there, which I'm sure you got all of them correct.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
All right. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
So we've been speaking with an incredible filmmaker. He goes by the name Adeyinka. All right. I met this guy some time ago in one of the creative events I attended.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. Of course, we said we should bring him to the show, and he's been dropping bars as it's hot, all right, as a creative. So you know that he's not just a newcomer, he's someone that has had some level of experience in the industry and is sharing it. So if this kind of content appeals to you, if you're learning something, if you're getting something, come on guys, subscribe to the channel. All right, Adeyinka, let's move forward.
Okay.
So in the Nigerian creative space, we have loads of content, all right? Of course, whether you talk about on social media, whether you talk about on the web, we have like loads of content that is really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
But at some point, you also see some that are not, are just there, right? What's your opinion about the Nigerian creative space right now? Yeah, because we all have our opinions. Yeah. Like I said, if I see this is red, you might see it like it's black, right?
Okay. I think currently, right, in the Nigerian creative space, I think firstly is really dominated with music videos.
Okay.
Yes, and it has been a case where we've judged filming through music videos.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, of course, music video is an expression of filming. Yeah, but when it comes to, I would say the real art of filming, I would say, and I'm also in the process. I'm not there yet. Actually,
of course, we're all on a journey, heading somewhere.
Yeah, I would say the way I look at film is from the standpoint where, firstly, the texture of the picture. Right, there is a film texture, right? Especially, with respect to the colors, the lighting, the costume, and all of that. We have been, I would say, in terms of percentage, I would say maybe just about 15% people, creatives, when they want to actually do film, really find the right texture to really do film. Yeah, because you should be able to differentiate between a TV show, a film, music video, and maybe
a skit.
A
comedy skit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, this skit has really taken over everything.
I was going to come to you there. If you're leaving the skit makers out, which are like the owners of the social media these days.
Yeah. Skit has really taken, I mean.
So let's talk about what keeps you and make you unique as a content creator.
What really makes me different, I think, is sometimes my choice of music, basically. Okay. Yes. And a couple of projects that I've also done, I try as much as possible to create my music from scratch. Yeah, I love that aspect so well because it gives me like a very, creative freedom to really just say, okay, this is what I want to hear. And I just, go as far as really just creating it myself. Okay. Yeah, maybe for people who don't know, I actually play the keyboard too, to some extent.
I was actually going to say, how did this guy make me miss telling people that this guy is also a musician? And he fingers the keys most times. He sings as well. So that's why, in fact, don't worry, we'll come back to that, but continue anyways.
Yeah, so I would say, I think, my choice of music really is like a very different aspect of my own kind of content. Yeah. And I'm also a very niched kind of person, right? Because, sometimes in April, I shot 2 episodes of what I call brand crime. And So this brand crime, I put it up on my personal YouTube page.
Okay.
This brand crime really was a story about people who just take people's work and replicate it. So I narrated the story down to where something even as simple as a logo, right? Just something as simple as a logo, right? If you take Criptonx logo and then somebody just takes your logo and maybe just remove something, add something, remove something
to it,
and then they just call it theirs.
Yeah.
Do you get? So that was really, what I was trying to tell with the story I put out there. I was just trying to emphasize that, designers, even as a creative person generally, right, it's not so ideal when you maybe just steal. It's good to steal, right? You can.
But these things happen every day in the creative space.
Of course,
But if you steal creatively, that's how I like to call it. No, but there's some stealing that you can tell. This one, this is it.
Exactly.
There's some stealing, it happens even in like music as a record producer. You hear musician, they just come into the studio. They just want to say, "Oh, boss, I'm hearing this beat in my head like this." And you play, this is the same music that he hears, and you're trying to say, "Oh, let's put a tweak to it." You say, "No, this is how I hear it." So you're trying to steal something, and it's not you're not creative about it. So.
Well, yeah. So the episode really just emphasized on how people been able to take out logos and just add something else to it, and people just work with it, and then it's just out there. And I used Toyota as a case study at that time. And while using Toyota, I created a company called Tire Autos, which is there's a little bit of a wordplay in there. So I made Tire Autos a coin out from Toyota's logo. And that was how I was able to just narrate it. So I say what is really different about my content is, first of all, it's actually very educative. Yes. And it's not direct. It's not me telling you, okay, this is how to add 1 + 1 to make it 2. Right? I come from the angle of errors, right? What people are actually putting out there that is wrong. Then I just come with the vibe of actually, correcting it.
Do you want to describe to us the most challenging scene you've ever shot? Because I know I have mine. I can always remember that it was crazy how to make a particular shot happen, and how did you deal with that?
Okay. I think I would say a couple of years back, right? In my music video experience, so it was a chase scene, right, from a regular music video. So if you're doing it, I wouldn't say if you're doing it the right way. If you're doing it the most expensive way, yes, you would have a track. Exactly. You will lay down a very long track. Right, and then you put the camera on it, and then you ask the person to run, and then the camera follows. So that's the most expensive way to do it. Another cheaper way to do it is probably maybe to use a gimbal. Yes, right. You have a gimbal on, and then you run with the person.
Or you could attach it to a car or something.
Exactly. So for the sake of what I did was I got a bike. I got a bike.
And that's smart.
I sat down behind the bike man. And then I asked them to just run.
That works.
And I was just on a gimbal. And I was holding the gimbal, and the guy was running towards me. But when I had the scene in mind, I didn't really know how to execute it until I got there. So I was like, am I going? And it was between a market space. And the guy was actually running in between, and I put a basket of orange somewhere that somebody was going to just push small to just show that there's a little bit of an action and all of that. So when I got there, I was confused, of course, and I'm like, am I going to film it? I actually tried on foot. And it's difficult to. Maybe at that time, it's difficult to hold the gimbal on one end, and then you're looking at where you're running, and then you're still filming.
It is.
Although some people can actually do it.
You can do it if the path is clear.
Exactly.
But in this kind of description, I don't think.
So what I had to do at that point in time was, it's like an arc. I just got on a bike. And I sat down behind the bike. I didn't use any strap, of course, but I was very careful. Yes, and just with the gimbal, and 1, 2, 3, action, run, and it just ran. And that's it.
Amazing.
And it really came out. It really came out well. Yeah, I would say that's like to an extent one of, because there's challenge with every.
Of course.
There's challenge with everything,
definitely now. Sometimes you could get to a point, maybe especially when it's this kind of scene that you didn't maybe before the shoot go to the scene to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
It could be maybe in the picture or the video, like we live in an era, right? You don't need to physically go.
Yeah.
Sometimes people could send you location, videos, so this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
You see that it looks so spacious and you're calculating some shots, but you now realize when you get there, it's like, once more I pass my in the bucket room, and you have to improvise.
Yeah.
Which is what makes the whole creative process. Look, you always have to be on the lookout for like what will not work, right? That's how I manage. So it's amazing to know how you were able to like maneuver that.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I think we've been able to say a lot in this space of time, and really, it's amazing. I hate to let you go. We're almost at the end of the show, which is the part I hate the most. So, but I mean, we're gonna bring you back. There's something that we're actually planning in the show, in the future.
Okay.
And of course, you'll be the right fit when the time comes.
Okay.
So, but before we let you go, if you were to advise your younger self when you first started this in 2014, based on the experience you've gotten, if you advise your younger self in 2014, what will it be right now?
Well, I would say take calculated risk.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I mean, I'm pretty much a very big risk taker. Yes. And I would say take risks that are calculated, meaning that you can predict the outcome.
Okay.
Right? I would say that's like the first thing. Then I would say explore more.
Yeah.
Right? Explore. Don't just do filming and music videos alone. I think explore documentaries.
Try your hands on different things.
Yeah, try out different things. And I would say do more networking.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I think I would have told my younger self. Do more. I mean, I used to be very introverted, trust me.
Yeah.
I would say the nature of me really just coming out maybe just started like 1-2 years back. Wow. I'm a very introverted person. Very, very introverted. And I mean, introvert no they win for business.
I'm telling you, you can't succeed like that in the business world.
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, I would say to myself, I think you should be more out there, right? Although, I mean, just try to put yourself more out there. Yeah. Forget about your introvertic nature.
Yeah.
Just keep it one side.
You can be that when you're in your room.
Exactly.
Or when you're in business space.
You have to
put it out.
Yes.
Amazing advice. And I'm sure someone else will actually want to take that and deal with their own life.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adeyinka for coming on the show. It's a good place for us to leave it. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Amazing conversation, which I'm sure, of course, there are lots of, a lot of creative out there that are actually going to be, picking one or two things from, what we're talking about. So amazing. Thanks for coming.
Thank you on the Creative Joint Show. Yeah. And I want you guys to actually like, share, and subscribe. All right.
There you heard. All right, guys. So I've been speaking with this incredible, super talented, creative personality we had on the show today. It goes by the name Adeyinka.
Yeah.
All right. And he does a lot of good things and wonderful creative things. You want to see what he's currently doing, go check out, his Instagram handle, his YouTube, of course, you're definitely going to see it on the screen there. Follow him and see what he does as a creative person. Of course, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. You won't regret it. All right. And if you haven't still subscribed to this channel yet, I can't say it enough. Kindly do so. Leave us a subscription and like. Tell us what you want to see next on the show. If you have a particular creative personality you want us to bring on the show, kindly comment. You never know. All right. Guys, it's been amazing presenting your main man here, JayDany. I'll see you in the next one. Signing out now. Peace out.